What's up, guys? I didn't think I was going to get to skate outside for a while because of the problems I've been having regulating my body temperature in the hot 90+ degree weather, but it's actually really cold tonight. So we're going to do 5 easy tricks in a parking lot. So we're going to start this off doing a manual across a parking space. So once you get 1 space, you can work your way up to getting 2 and more. But first we're going to just, without ollieing into the manual, just lift up, hold a manual across the parking space. After that, we'll work on ollieing into it. So for the no ollie manual, all I do is bend my knees. My front knee bends a little bit more than my back knee, and I just kind of lock in place and hold it. So sometimes your front foot kind of bends a little bit like this just to hold the manual in balance. But my back foot's over the tail, front foot's over the front bolts. I just lift back. I kind of do a C with my body. So my upper body is leaning over. My weight is on my back foot. The front foot doesn't have as much weight on it. You're leaning back, it seems like, on the board, but your upper body is kind of leaning forward to compensate for the back foot having all that weight on it, so you don't shoot out forward. So you're just kind of like a big C in the air holding the manual. You can also do this with a nose manual. I think the nose manuals are harder, but some people might think that's easier. It's a little bit tricky to ollie into it. You have to know how to ollie first off, but when you land in it, you have to be really stiff, but yet still loose. So you have to be stiff enough to catch it without tapping your front wheels. That's just the first trick, so we've got a lot of room here to mess around with different tricks. So let's do an ollie, just in case you don't know how to ollie. So I think before you learn to ollie, doing tic-tacs and just holding that manual from one parking space to another, it's gonna help you get the motion down to actually pop. So it's kind of like when you're lifting the board up for a tic-tac, but it's more extreme. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your front foot behind the front bolts, your back foot on the tail, and you're going to pop down with your back foot. And as you're popping down, you're dragging your front foot up a little bit to the nose or onto the front bolts. And you're doing this with the right timing so that you actually lift your back wheels all the way off the ground. You can try this in the grass. You don't necessarily have to start out doing it in a parking lot. You can do it on the carpet. Press down on that tail, drag your front foot, and lift it up. When you first start, you're gonna be doing what's called a rocketed ollie. So your front foot's gonna be a lot higher than your back foot, but those back wheels will barely get off the ground. Kind of like that, and you may land on your tail like that. But over time, you wanna suck your back foot up a little bit higher so that you can even it out in the air. Just a little bit more. So this is my main board right now. It is a polar board with Untitled Trucks Spitfire wheels, and you can see it's actually got a nose and a tail that curve up and hold you on the board. So the freestyle board that I was on is from Mode. It's a little bit smaller, and you can see the tail curves up, but the nose is totally flat. So it's a little bit harder to kind of stay on the board. I've also got a third board here. I could do an ollie on this one, but this is a long board, so it's a little bit heavier. It's got a longer wheelbase. Having a longer wheelbase makes that pop feel heavier. So that might be the hardest of the 3 to actually do an ollie on. All right, so we got 2 down, we got 3 left to go, and it's late. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I had to wait for a little while for it to cool down outside because I've been having these horrible migraines every day in the heat. I know I'm acting like one of those hyperactive YouTubers, but I'm actually just really tired. So we're gonna do a kickflip. Keep this simple, and then we'll interact with the actual ledges and walls over here for the last 2. So with the kickflip, it's just like the ollie, except when you pop, instead of sliding your foot straight forward, you're gonna drag it off to the side and give it a little flick. Let's see if I can do a first try kickflip on this Mode board. I've been driving a lot tonight. Oh, all right, so somehow I actually broke the tailbone off of the Mode board. I'm not sure when this happened because I don't see the little metal piece out here, but at some point it must have flown off of there. So I'll look for that. So it might help to really hang your heel off a lot at first, But over time, you want to get comfortable enough that you can ride in a comfortable position and just pop these whenever you feel like it, you know? So you're not hanging off so much that you're actually unstable, but you're on the board enough that you can just ride comfortably, you know? So most parking lots are gonna have some type of ledge or curb to ollie on and ollie off of. So for the next trick, we'll talk about ollieing on and off of curbs. So with this curb, you can actually ride onto it and learn to roll off of it. So we'll do that at first, since you do have an area where you can ride on easily. So we're taking what we learned from that other trick where we're holding a manual, and we're just doing it off the edge of this. So we're just lifting our front wheels up. When we get close enough that they're about to hit, lift it up, hold it till it rolls off, land on both wheels. So you kind of lean back for a second and then lean forward as you fall off. So you're not gonna roll off and land in a manual at first. You can do that later. But roll off, lean forward, land, roll away. So once you can do that, ollieing off the ledge is easier than ollieing up it, because when you ollie up it, you run the risk of hanging up, but when you ollie down it, there's nothing to really hang up on. So just combine what you learned with the ollie and what we learned with rolling off the ledge, and just ollie off the ledge. So after that, when you're ollieing up the ledge, you have to go with a little more speed, because you actually have to clear both sets of wheels over there. If you run the back wheels in there, you're gonna get hung up. So make sure you're going with enough speed that you can get all the way up. But it's the exact same thing. Just go fast and commit to it. So most parking lots have these to hold the light fixtures. So you might be thinking, well, what can I do on that? Like wally it maybe? I really can't ollie that high to grind it or anything like that. Well, one thing you could do is a tail drop. I don't know if it's a bomb drop or an acid drop when you do this. Let me know in the comments below. But I'm putting the tail on and doing a power ollie off. But with the power ollie, oh no, I'm knocking all my boards off. Oh gosh, this isn't actually big enough for my tail. You're actually dipping down and then doing a little ollie. That was actually pretty scary because there was just a tiny bit of room to fit my tail on. But yeah, that works really well for any kind of drop like that. You can start off doing it on the curb and then work your way up to doing it on something like this. I'll probably skate around a little bit, maybe do something else, mostly because I really want to find that screw that I lost. Because, you know, it's a different kind of screw. It's not like a normal screw. But if you have a freestyle board, there's a lot of opportunities in a parking lot. Like basically any freestyle trick. So this is a freestyle board from Mode. It's a freestyle board because it's got freestyle wheels where you can kind of walk around on the side like this without scratching up the axle and that bolt. It's also got a flat nose and it used to have tail guards. Yeah, it's the perfect size for this kind of stuff. It's not too big. It's a 7.4. This came complete with Indie trucks, the littler ones. As you can see, it's fun to tinker around with. I actually went on vacation in a previous video and just brought this because it was the only board small enough to fit in my suitcase. So there's a video of me skating big transition with a little board. You can do kick flips, you can do 360 flips, you can do basically anything on this board. You can even skate vert with this board. I've seen Andy Anderson do it in a video. So here's a bonus trick for you. If you've got one of these things in your parking lot, you can do a little wally, take your front foot off, grab the nose or the middle of the board, and then kind of jump off the wall and land on the board. Also, I just thought of this. If you've got something this high, you could practice your flat ground tricks sitting down. So let's see if I can get something here. Maybe like practice those freestyle tricks just sitting down. That was better than I thought it would be. Hopefully you guys don't like this version of me that's really tired, because I'm actually trying to get my circadian rhythm on track and go to sleep at a normal time, get up at a normal time. Maybe that'll help me. be a little more healthy. So I'll show you the power ollie on an actual curb. When you're on a curb, you can get a little more creative with it. Since you're not going to get hurt as much because it's so low, you could do like a back 180 out. You could do a front 180. Oh, might have to redo these. You could do a shove. I should probably move that camera. It's very expensive. Oh, this is a crunchy ledge. Got like little crunchlets on my board on the nose. You ever heard the term crunchlets? That might be a NBD word. So the longboard really thrives at night, because at night there's pebbles everywhere. You really can't see where you're going or what you're running over. And with the big longboard wheels, you can roll over anything. Also, the longboard really thrives in the street. It's not much of a skate park tool, but it really does thrive at night out in the streets. That's when you're gonna get the most fun out of something like this. My first kickflip was on a longboard, but you're not gonna see me do a kickflip on this board because the trucks and the wheels stick out farther than the deck, so it makes it really hard for me to kickflip. All right, so I'm gonna throw one longboard trick in this video. It's also gonna be in the video where I skate this longboard at the skate park. So with this trick, I'm gonna step off the board and do kind of like an old school kickflip by taking my front foot and flicking up. Then jumping as soon as I do that and landing on the board, hopefully. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of content, reviews, tutorials, and videos about what I'm learning as I grow as a skateboarder, then scroll through my channel, check out my other videos, and hit that subscribe button because I got a lot more videos to come. Thanks for watching.